So, good evening po Sir Jay and Josh. Good evening
Good
po.
evening po.
So, for today po, we'll be having our chemical kinetics discussion. But this time, we'll be focusing more on the reaction orders. Okay po. So, let me share first my presentation. So, share ko lang po yung presentation ko. Um, there. There. So please take note, Josh. I think you've already read some information about reaction orders and meron ka nang alam din sa reaction orders. Reaction orders is actually part of branch ng chemistry that deals with reaction rates called what? Ano nga ang pinaka-branch ng reaction orders?
Chemical kinetics po.
Very good. So chemical kinetics. So chemical kinetics is focuses more on the reaction rates. Okay. So just to give you an idea or reaction rate. So reaction rate is basically the rate of chemical reaction. So the unit here will be change in concentration per unit of time. So if that is the case, what will be the usual units for reaction rates, Josh? Give me some examples. So change of concentration over time.
Opo, say po, molar per second.
Okay, good. Molar per second. We can, since molarity is a unit of concentration per unit of time, it means you're changing the concentration as well. You can also have um, mole per second. So, of course, mole means amount of substance, right? So, pwede rin yan, mole per second. Pwede nga rin even yung molecules per second. That will be chemical kinetics pa rin. So, or any unit of particle changing via chemical reactions, you can also have that as a unit of reaction rate. So reaction rates, we have many ways on how to measure this. Specifically, yung mga more sophisticated instrument na like spectroscopy or chromatography, we can measure the reaction rate. So isang importance ng reaction rates is more on the drug reaction and then chemical manufacturing firm so that we can properly optimize the products required for this application. So we'll now focus more with reaction orders. So ano ba yung reaction orders? Let's explore now. So the reaction orders are actually summarized or can be found under the rate law. So yung rate law, let's define first rate law. So rate law is it's an expression, Josh, that shows the relationship between the rate and the concentration of the reactant. So supposed to be, let's have an example here. So a reaction A or reactant A rather reacting with reactant B forms your products. Okay, so these will be your products, right? So what will be its rate law? So the rate law, so again, yung rate daw ng reaction and relationship with the concentration of your reactants. So this will be your rate law. Rate is equal to KAX BY. So where K is your rate constant, X and Y are the numbers determined experimentally. So in general, please take note X is not equal to A, yan, to your stoichiometric coefficient, and Y is not equal to your B. So who are X and Y? Yan. Sino ang X and Y, Josh?
Mga reaction order po. Usually with respect po to a certain reaction.
Very good. So X is what? This is your
Rate with respect to A po.
okay order. That's your reaction order with respect to A, correct? And then Y
Order with
with
respect po to B.
very good. So how about the overall reaction order? How can you determine that?
X plus Y po.
Okay, good. So the overall reaction order will be X plus Y. X plus Y siya. Okay? So, some notes din sa rate law. So, I think nasabi mo na yung dito. Um, X and Y determine the reaction order, wherein X plus Y will be the overall reaction order. So if I'll be asking you, kunwari pag tinanong ko, what is the reaction order with respect to B? What is your answer?
Y po.
Okay, good. Ganun lang siya ha. Because there are problems, like simple problems na ganun. They're just testing your concept about rate law. Okay? So, the unit of rate is always molar per second. So, hence, the unit of K depends on the order of the reaction. Let's say we have first order. So, kunwari, rate equals K times A. Can you predict what is the unit of K, Josh? Pag ganito yung sitwasyon, kunwari, first order lang, predict mo lang. So this is always molar per second, and then this is molarity. Very good. So the unit of K will be per second. Okay, para molar per second siya. That's correct. So if we can see here, the unit of K depends dun sa reaction order nga. So let's try naman yung second order. Pag second order, Josh, ano kayang unit ng K? So, rate is molar per second. Let's say K, tapos ito ay A squared. So what will be the unit of K? Okay, very good. So since ito ay molar squared, so dapat makakancel mo yung isang M dito. So you need to have M negative 1 or M sa denominator mo so that you'll have molar per second pa rin. So we can clearly see here that the unit of a K talaga depends on the reaction order. And what is your rate constant? So, let's define first K muna pala. So what is K basically?
Yung ano po, kasi proportional po sila. To make it equal, you need to introduce po a constant. That constant can be anything.
Correct. So K is just a constant of proportionality so that you can clearly describe the relationship between the reaction rate and the concentration of the reactants. So ano yung parang punto natin dito? The point here is that reaction rates can be affected by your concentration of the reactant. So ibig sabihin, concentration of your reactants is one of the factors affecting your reaction rate. So, can you give any other factors na kaya mag-affect ng reaction rates, Josh? Bukod aside from the concentration of reactants, what do you think? What are the other factors tingin mo na kaya mag-affect?
Nature po of the reactant.
Very good. So, the nature of the reactants themselves can affect the reaction rates. Okay, so can you give me an example? Ayan, okay. Ayan, nagsusulat ka pala ng reaction mo. Okay. This is carbon solid graphite, oxygen gas. Ayan. And this is a good example, ha? This is a really good example for the nature of reactants. Okay, sige, go ahead, explain that.
Mabilis po, when you burn na po graphite, it happens fast. Pero pag burning diamond po, it will happen extremely slow. Kasi po, very strong po yung bonds ng diamond.
Why? Okay, so graphite and diamond will have different nature, right? So, do you have any idea kung ano yung structural conformation ni graphite?
Ng ano po ng graphite, basically, it's just sheets na held by London dispersion forces po.
Ayan, ayun. Hexagonal siya, right? Hexagonal. Very good. How about for diamond? Correct. And these sheets of graphite are held by London dispersion forces. That's really good. Yan, correct. Tama yan. How about for diamonds? Okay. So diamonds are what in shape? Yung carbon are oriented or
Tetragonal.
very good. So you have a tetrahedral, right?
Tetrahedral po.
For carbon diamond. So that will be the difference between the two. And diamond is held by what?
By very strong po na covalent forces.
Correct. Covalent bonds yan. So unlike yung graphite mo na held by intermolecular forces of attraction na London dispersion forces, your diamond, the graphite, is actually held by covalent bonds. So which makes your diamond stronger in nature or stronger by nature when it comes to chemical bonding. Thus, the reaction will be very slow compared to graphite. So it really means that nature of reactants can really affect the rates of reaction. Okay? How about some more? Meron pa ba? Tingin mo, meron pang other factors affecting reaction rates aside from concentration of reactants, nature of reactants?
Yung po, temperature and other
Okay. So, okay,
yung
correct. So, siguro yung temperature will have another session for that because temperature can really affect the rate law. But in general, Josh, what happens to your reaction rates when you increase the temperature?
Usually po, they speed up.
Can you give a very simple reason for that? Tingin mo, or a simple reason?
Kasi po pag
Tingin mo.
mainit po, marami pong collisions. Tapos pag po, halos wala. Kasi ang bagal po ng... Tsaka kung magko-collide man po sila pag mabagal, it's hindi po, it's not powerful po.
Or they don't have enough energy, right, when they collide?
Opo.
Correct. So, very good. So, temperature is actually another factor affecting your reaction rate. So, once you have high temperature or higher temperature, it means your molecules will be moving faster. This will increase their frequency for collisions. And then when they collide, since you have higher energy, you have higher kinetic energy as well, because these are proportional by nature, you have more chance of colliding your reactants or reactant particles with the correct amount of energy so that you can easily convert them into products. So that is basically an input na yun ng collision theory, ha. So that's a really good explanation. Okay, so I think we're good with this one. Meron pa palang last factor, pero we'll have that for another session. Presence of catalyst. Okay, so let's proceed. So let's now focus with the rate law expression. So please take note that the rate law expression or the rate laws are always determined experimentally. So what does it mean? The K here, rate constant, X, the exponent for A, or the reaction order for A, and then Y, the reaction order with respect to B, they are all determined experimentally. Okay, it's quite hard for now, or para sa atin, with the given technology, we can actually easily simulate the experimental values for your reaction rates. Okay, so kaya talaga dapat dinedetermine siya experimentally. So reaction order is always determined from the concentration of the reactants, not the products, because what we want is the disappearance of your reactants para consistent lang tayo. So standardize ang rate law. We're only looking for the concentration of your reactants, not for the formation of your products. And finally, another important concept, it's not totally the same with your stoichiometric coefficient. So please take note, X and Y, your reaction orders with respect to your reactants, they are not related to your stoichiometric or to their stoichiometric coefficients in the overall balance equation. So make sure that x is not equal to a and y is not equal to b. Okay, so it's a different there are different concepts. Okay,
Okay.
let's now proceed with the three reaction order. So for this session, we'll be having the first order, second order, and the zero order reaction rates. Let's start first with the first order reaction. So for the first order reaction, let's define this one first. So in the first order reaction, the rate is proportional to the concentration of one of the reactants. Okay, so parang kung meron tayong reaction, Josh, na A going to products, we'll have this rate expression or rate to expression. The change in A over time is directly proportional to A itself. Okay? What can you say about the rate of change of A over time, Josh? Positive or negative?
Negative po, it decreases.
Correct. So dapat a negative rate of A with respect to time is directly proportional to the concentration of A. So this is first order. So ngayon, pag gusto mong i-remove yung proportionality constant, Josh, what will you introduce?
A constant po.
Very good. And we call that K. So negative dA equals D over dt equals K over A. And this is your differential rate law for the first order reaction. Differential rate law. Kaya siya differential rate law because we're trying to determine here the amount of concentration of A with respect to time. And then relate it to the concentration of one of your reactants. So an example of first order reaction is this one. The dinitrogen pentoxide react with itself and then forming nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. So the rate law is Kn2O5. So this is the experimentally determined rate law. So how can we interpret this? Pag in-interpret mo yan, Josh, meaning ito, the rate of decomposition of N2O5 is proportional to N2O5 itself or the concentration of your reactant, which is the molar concentration of N2O5. So with this given differential rate law, Josh, we'll apply here, ano nga ito? Calculus. So, kasi differential rate law is, it's a change amount of change, right? So, we want to get a formula wherein we can directly calculate any amount of A at certain time t. So, with this, we need to use integral. Okay, sige. We derive here. So, laging ganito yung pattern natin for the next, next orders of reaction. So, from differential rate law, we now derive the integrated rate law. Integrated rate law. So, actually, this is a differential equation. So, to solve this, we need to use integral calculus. So, I think you're ready with this. Kaya na ba? I-solve? Okay. Sige, I'll stop sharing pala. Wait lang. Sige, try to, my problem here is try to derive the integrated rate law for the first order reaction differential rate law. Ayan. Sige, you can share your screen now. So you start with the differential rate law. Okay, good. So that's negative dA over dt. So that is your differential equation, K A. Then, ayan, ikaw na mag-apply ka na ng calculus dyan. By the way, ang gusto ko dito, Josh, is express this first order integrated rate law in terms of AT. So, at any time t. concentration of A at any time t. Okay, good. So that is a definite integral. Okay, so good. So that is your integrated rate law for the first order reaction. So ito. Let me annotate din na. Yan. So this is your integrated rate law for the first order reaction or IRL. Okay? What can you notice about the integrated rate law kapag naging ano na siya, nakaganyang form? It resembles what?
Yung ano po, point slope form.
Okay, good. So the point slope form ng linear equation. So this can resemble, this is your y equals m
X.
then x plus b. With this given equation, Josh, linear equation, can you try to predict a graph for the integrated rate law ng first order reaction?
Mabo.
Okay, sige. Okay, correct. So that's it. That's our linear graph for the integrated rate law ng first order reaction. So as we can see here, if we graph pala ln A versus time, so time being your x-axis and taking the natural logarithms of the concentration of A per unit of time, you'll be having a straight line. Okay, so and then the slope will be equal to negative k or the negative rate constant. So with this, Josh, if will be given, ganito yung magiging ano nito ha, practical application. If will be given with the concentration of A or concentration of reactant A with respect to time, we can plot it and then determine the rate constant. So pag ganon, we can determine the rate law expression as well. So Correct. So, let me share now my screen. So, let's go back dun sa ating presentation. So, check natin yung answer mo. Okay, correct. So, the plot of ln RT versus T will give you this one. So, that's correct. The slope, which is your M, is equal to negative K. Then now, I'll introduce to you the concept of half-life. So in kinetics, Josh, we have this concept called half-life. So the symbol for half-life is T1 half. This is the usual symbol that you'll see in references. This is the time needed for a certain amount of substance to be decomposed into its half. So literally, if you have 1.0 molar and then you want to turn it into 0.5 molar, the time that it will take to be decomposed into its half, that is your half-life. Okay? And surprisingly, unfortunately, uh, all radioactive substances are actually obeying first order reaction. Okay, so the order of the reaction is in the first degree. So like carbon 14, uranium 238. So it means we can use the integrated rate law for the first order reaction to calculate uh, the age or any concentration related to radioactive substances. So, ngayon, binigay yung formula dyan eh. The half-life is T1 half. Can you derive the formula for half-life? Sige, I'll stop sharing ulit. You go back to your whiteboard. Paano na-derive yung formula ng half-life? Yan, sige. You write first the integrated rate law so that we can clearly see paano siya naging ganon. Okay. Okay, good. So you set first the conditions. Yan. Sinet mo muna yung condition. Okay, then simplify it in terms of T1 half alone. So what we want is to see T1 half lang sa isang side. Okay, so syempre ayaw natin mag-remember ng formula na may negative 1 half, right? So what if we take the negative dun sa natural logarithm, what happens to your t1 half this time? So you take now the negative ln of 0.5. So the negative ln of 0.5 is actually ln2. So
Opo.
therefore, you have t1 half ln2 over k. So very good. So ayan, na-derive mo yung half-life for the first order reaction. Correct? So yan. Half-life t1 half is ln2 over k. So yan. That's a um, good na na explanation or derivation rather. By the way, since we talk about radioactive substances, sorry Josh, bibigyan kita ng additional na trabaho. What if I have the concentration of your radioactive substances? So I just want to determine the age. Diba, radioactive substances such as carbon-14 is used for carbon dating. Then uranium-238 is also used for um, uranium dating for inorganic samples ito. So, inorganic samples such as rocks and soils. Tapos, pag organic samples naman, you have the carbon-14. Okay? So, if that is the case, organic samples. So, if that is the case, we can actually determine the age of the samples. Can you derive first the parang generic formula with this for this equation? Okay, go back dun sa integrated rate na mo. I'll guide you, don't worry.
Na-realize ko po, parang medyo balik ko.
Oh.
Pag ganun.
Anyway, sige. You start first with the integrated rate law. Okay. Ayan. So, express the integrated rate law using the half-life. So, but, half-life, saan lagay mo na lang but? But T1 half is equal to what? Ayan, nagawa ng paraan. Okay. So, then substitution. You go with substitution na. Ito yung maganda kay first order reaction Meron siyang very popular na application which is radioactive dating. So, T1 half. That is for T1 half, right? So, gawin mo lang yung T1 half in terms of K. This one. Sige.
Opo. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Sige. Okay, ayan, nakuha mo rin agad. Parang kasi we want to determine the age of a sample. So, parang you need to retain lang the T there. Okay, good. So, but K is equal to what? Ano? Okay, yan. Simplify mo na lang siya. So, T is equal to
bango.
Life pala ng ating radioactive substance because that is a constant, right? By the way, another interpretation, can you go back pala, Josh, sa previous page mo? I just want to emphasize this para magaguide din kita. What can you say about the formula of half-life? Nakadepend ba siya sa concentration ng reactant mo?
Wala po. Hindi po.
Correct. So we don't see any variable for the concentration of A. So therefore, half-life is independent sa reaction, concentration rather, of reactant A. So there's no variable A here. So T1 half is a constant for a specific substance. Okay? So it will not vary when you try to change the concentration of your reactant. So then you go back dun sa formula natin with the half-life. The half-life formula. Ayan. So it means once you have the half-life of your radioactive substance, you can always determine now the age of your sample or the age of your substance, or how many time will it take for you to decompose the original concentration to the concentration of A at a given time T, as long as you have T1 half. Usually naman ang T1 half, Josh, can be easily determined via chemical kinetic studies. Okay? So, ayan. I think we're now ready to solve some problems about ano nga ito? About first order reaction. So, let's go back here. Yan. So, let me proceed sa next page. Ayan. So, I have two problems for a first order reaction. So, the following table shows the variation of N2O5 concentration with time. So, it follows a first order reaction. So, what we want here is determine the rate constant, or basically we want to determine K. I also want you to get or calculate T1 half, the half-life for the reaction. And let's say there's a hypothetical problem here. So determine how much time is required to decompose 30% of the original concentration of the reactant. Okay, sige. With this given data, amount of data. Sige. I'll give you time to copy lang the data para kapag ka na, shift ka into whiteboard, you already have the data. Kaya parang pwede mo naman screenshot na lang siya or snipping tool. Okay? So, ayan. So, anong natin dito? What is our strategy, Josh, here to solve this one?
Determine the rate constant.
How can you determine that?
Yung let's say from yung concentration na 0.16, we can use yung formula and yung integrated rate law po to find K. But there's another way naman po. Use the linear regression.
Okay, you do the linear regression because I think the linear regression will be more fit for this because you're given with a data set. Kasi multiple data siya. This is multiple points. Yan, multiple points. Since you know naman that the graph for first order reaction, ano nga ulit yung X mo for first order reaction?
T po. And then Y is...
Okay, type. ln. Okay, so or this time it's ln N2O5. It's given naman it's first order eh. So we can check na lang later if it's really first order. So once you have the graph for this, we can easily calculate M equals negative K. Okay. So yan yung mangyayari. So, oops, hindi dapat niya magta-touch. Usually hanggang ganyan lang yan. So M equals negative K. Okay, so I think na capture mo naman siya. So you can now share your your screen or your solution.
That's a picture.
So,
I don't know where's what yung cut.
so you have your data set naman na. So just tell me if you need the data set, and then I'll let you show. I'll show you the given example. Okay, kaya Josh, for this example, you'll show me your table na may LNA over time ka, or LNA versus time. For this example lang naman, so sa mga succeeding natin, para lang ma-emphasize natin yung graph. Sa mga succeeding sigurong orders, you can just directly input that into your calculator and perform the linear regression. Good yan. So, lagay mo na lang din yung X kung sino siya. So, why I'm telling you this, because in science kasi it's really particular for us to properly label tables and data set. So, I'm teaching you, or I'm making it a habit for you to show the tabular form ng data. Para kahit i-present mo siya to others, they can easily understand that.
Opo.
Sa ngayon lang naman yan kasi syempre paulit-ulit ito for the other reaction orders eh. So, ayan. Okay, good. Continue. Okay, so you have your K value already. You might want to include the unit.
Yan po.
Okay, so that's for A. How about yung B? Determine the half-life for the reaction. I'll check later ha. So, sige, okay lang, tuloy-tuloy mo na B and C.
Determine the half-life.
Okay, correct. So for letter C kasi what we want is determine the amount of time required for us to decompose 30% of your original concentration.
Battery. Check ba? Sir, pa-check ko lang po yung battery.
Okay lang po, sir.
Ano?
Okay. Okay, so of course we'll have some discrepancies I guess kasi iba yung significant figures na ginamit natin. But overall, these are all correct naman. So for letter A, let me check. Annotate there. So I calculated K to be, wait lang, not that one, this one. My calculation is 5.7 times 10 to the negative 4 per second. Correct? So this is correct. Okay. Yeah, that is also my K. So yours is 5.77 times 10 to the negative 4. Then for letter B, my calculated half-life is 1,210 seconds. So this is also correct. The same naman siya kasi you use up to second decimal places. So I only use 5.7. So okay lang din yan. So, and I double check. It's approximately 1,200 seconds. Kung gagawin lang din nating to sig fig. And then for this one, the third one is 2,100 yung na-solve ko. So yeah. This is near rin naman with 2,100. So this is also correct. So ngayon, if you will see here, there are some deviations from our calculations because we're using different significant figures. So just make sure, Josh, the next time siguro sa mga problems, you try to observe yung mga number of significant figures and try to follow them. Okay? So para ano lang siya, similar. But for this, with concept proofing naman ito, that's actually a good solution. And we can clearly see here that it's actually a first order. By the way pala, Josh, di ba igagraph mo to? Kapag rinap natin yung time versus ln N205, I hope your data are still there. Di ba you have a straight line here? What's your R squared for this one? So R squared is the linear coefficient. So we want to check the linearity eh. Kasi dapat straight line yan.
Mga ano po? Mga 0.9997.
Yun.
Goes ours.
Okay, so that's your R squared. R squared na yan ha? Hindi siya R ha? because r and r squared will be different. Good. So, can we consider that one as a linear equation already?
Opo.
Yes, kasi 'di ba parang ang definition nga natin at least 3 consecutive 9s meron ka, straight line talaga siya. So this equation or this reaction, the decomposition of N2O5 really follows um, first order reaction. So that is your condition. Kasi later, Josh, if you're given a data set of time versus concentration of your reactant A or any reactant, and you'll be asked what will be the reaction order, you'll be comparing kasi the different graphs of first order, second order, and zero order. So that you can determine what is the order of your reaction. Okay? So let's proceed. Yan. So, very solid na yung foundation mo for reaction orders kasi yan yung mga kailangan natin eh. So, for every reaction order, Josh, umuulit-ulit lang siya. So, sabi ko nga, there's an important application for reaction order, first order reaction, yung mga radioactive substances. For the number 2 problem, the radioactive nuclide cobalt-60. So, are you familiar with cobalt-60, Josh?
Opo.
Cobalt-60 is used for what? Any idea?
Cancer treatment po.
Correct. So, ang cobalt-60 has a medical application for radioactive treatment. So, for cancer. So, yan yung ginagamit natin. So, ang half-life ni cobalt-60 is actually 5.27 years. Okay, so the problem here is calculate the mass of cobalt-60 that remains from a 0.01 gram. So 3 sig fig to lahat yata, no? Yeah, so 3 sig fig na lang. So express your answer in 3 significant figures. Sample of the nuclide after 1 year has lapsed. So again you have an original concentration of 0.0100 gram cobalt-60. After 1 year, how much of cobalt-60 remains? So the half-life of cobalt-60 is 5.27 years. So I think you're ready to share your solution. So stop share ko lang ha. Okay, go ahead. So if you need the data, I'll mention na lang siguro.
Sir, pinicture lang po namin.
Ay, okay. Sige po. Salamat po at naging maagap kayo. So, good. So, just label siguro number 2 para at least we're guided. Yan. Ngayon, ito madali na lang siya kasi may formula na tayo na na-derive eh. But this time, we're missing with 80 eh. That's, we want to get 80 here.
Opo. Yeah. 1 year pa rin. Yeah.
Josh, yan. Buti lang binago mo. 0.01. Correct. Okay, continue. Wait, take note. Molarity ba yung ano natin, unit ng ano, um, amount of reactant? Sige, double check mo lang.
Check sa
You check the problem. Ayan, good. So, mole ba ang ano, ating unit?
Na-delete ko na.
na-delete mo. Delete niya po, sir, patingin daw ng problem. Don't delete.
Ay, okay, sorry po.
Don't delete until
Sige, ito. Wait lang, Josh, ha. Sige, very fast. Ayan. So, actually, it's in grams. Ayan. So, in grams siya. So, 0.0100 grams. So, very ano naman siya. Minor lang kasi yung solution mo naman what really matters. But,
Concentration?
ha? Yeah, pwede yan. Naka-grams lang siya. For radioactive substances. Kasi hindi naman rate ang kinukuha natin dito eh. Amount of reactant lang, right? So, pero if you want rate, amount of reactant over time. Okay. So, that will be left after 1 year. So, imaginein mo ha, you started with 0.0100 gram of cobalt-60 sample. And then, after 1 year, having 5.27 years na half-life, you'll be only left with 8.77 times 10 to the negative 3 grams. So parang to appreciate this, or para mas ma-appreciate lang natin siya, parang ganito siya. Yan, correct. Parang 0.0100 grams. So after 1 year lang, cobalt-60. After 1 year lang, you'll be having 0.00877 grams of cobalt-60. Yeah, this is ano naman. This is ano, tawag doon, logical. So tignan mo ha. So you started with 0.0100, then you'll be ending up with 0.0877. Okay, so di naman siya ganun kalaki pang nabawas agad. So parang it will take pa kasi 5.27 years before your 0.01 gram turned into 0.0050 or 500 gram cobalt-60. Okay, so we're good. Let me share now the next na ano, reaction order. Ayan. So we're done with the first order. Paano naman kapag second order? So for the second order reaction, so the rate daw, let's get first the differential rate law, or the DRL. So the rate daw is directly proportional to the second power of the concentration of one of the reactants. So with this in mind, let's say pag ganito pa rin siya, products, if this is your reaction or chemical equation, Josh. So what will be your differential rate law? So dapat negative dA over dt is equal to, ayan, sige, go ahead. Ayun, correct. So that is your DRL. What I want you to get is the IRL. So i-derive natin yung IRL. So before that, and before mo i-share yung screen mo, I just want to give you an example. Let's say the decomposition naman of nitrogen dioxide follows a second order with respect to NO2. So we can have this rate law expression. Rate is equal to KNO2 squared with this given chemical equation. Sige. I want you to get, ito yung mga kailangan mo ng kunin ha, para at least guided na tayo. The IRL, tsaka yung half-life for a second order reaction. So dalawa ang kukunin mo. Integrated rate law, derive the integrated rate law using differential equations, and then the half-life. Algebraic lang naman yung half-life. So I'll stop sharing muna ha. Okay, go ahead. You can now have your screen. Similarly, start first with the differential rate law. Very good. Yan. By the way, Josh, you can explain your answer while writing. Para at least you can practice then the way you present your solution. Okay, go ahead.
Integrate.
I think what you wrote last time or yung previously, it's an important equation or formula. You can write that beside your second line. So, parang lagyan mo ng scratch. Yan. Para at least guided ka lang. Yan, sige. Okay lang yan. Sa second line right side. Parang meron ka. Lagyan mo lang ng note o kaya scratch. Okay. Ayan, okay. Okay, good. So it's a legend. Yan. Yan. So that you can clearly present your solution. Okay, good. So that's your integrated rate law. So similarly, it resembles your what? Your linear equation, right?
My slope intercept.
Correct. So mx plus b. So same. Derive now the half-life. Paano pag half-life naman yung gusto ko makuha? What can you say about the half-life?
It actually depends on the concentration.
On the okay of your reactant. Very good. So for the second order, unlike the first order reaction, Josh, we can clearly see here the involvement of the reaction or the concentration of your reactant A dun sa half-life. So it means the half-life of your second order depends on the original concentration of your reactant. So with this in mind, we're now ready to solve the ano nga ito? Solve second order reaction. So try lang natin ha, or meron ba akong prepare for second order? By the way, paano pala ang magiging graph natin? So if you have you try to predict what will be the linear graph for second order reaction. Sige, you can annotate here, Josh. Para lang bago ko ipakita yung linear graph. Dapat so your x-axis is what?
Wala na pong
Ito dito sa KNO2. Sige, rough lang siya. Okay, good. Sige, diyan ka na lang. So roughly, yan. Sige, okay na yan. Ayan, okay. So roughly, okay, good. So M this time is positive. So slope yan. That will be 1 over AO. Okay, so, or you take the inverse then ng A. Good. And T is still your x-axis. Very good. So that is your linear graph for the second order. So let's double check. Ayun. Ayan, nakuha mo talaga siya. So 1 over RT, it's the same with 1 over AT. Then you'll have a positive slope this time. X will be your time. And then the integrated rate law, this is what you derived a while ago. It's very similar. 1 over AT equals K at any time T, KT plus 1 over AO. Okay. And then the half-life is T1 half 1 over KAO. Very good. So you're actually learning really fast for the order of reactions. Kasi sabi ko nga sa iyo, di ba? Kanina, whatever we did for the first order reaction, we'll just repeat that for any type of order. So second order, ganyan din siya. Okay? So here comes the problem. Yan, charan, may problem ulit tayo for the second order reaction. So iodine atoms or iodine atoms combine to form molecular iodine in gas space. So gaseous space ito ha. So you have iodine gas forming iodine by dimolecular iodine or bimolecular iodine. So in the gaseous phase. So the reaction daw follows a second order kinetics and has a very high rate constant, or the rate constant is 7 times 10 to the 9 molar second, meter second tuloy, molar second. Okay, so that is the unit for K, ni second order. So if the initial concentration of iodine gas was 0.086 molar, calculate the concentration after 2.0 minutes. So please take note the rate constant unit is per second. Ito naka-minutes pa. And then for letter B, it's another question. Calculate the half-life of the reaction. So please take note your half-life will change depending on the concentration of your reactant, original concentration of your reactant. If the initial concentration of I is 0.60 molar and if it's 0.42 molar. So parang ito ay B.1, this is B.2. So what if we change the concentration of I from 0.60 daw and then 0.42? Of course, the half-lives for these two initial concentrations will be changed as well. Okay, so ayan. You can take a picture for the problem and then para ma-solve natin siya. Or you can share your screen later. Okay, so I think meron ka ng picture. So I'll stop sharing muna ha. And then you may now share your screen. Okay, good. So what we're missing here will be the concentration after 2 minutes. So, parang ang ginawa mo lang, just directly use the integrated rate law.
Opo. Yun na po.
Okay, just continue to B.1 and B.2. Then I'll check your answers after giving your answers.
Opo.
Okay, so I think you now have answers. So check
Sabsabo.
natin ha. Check muna natin isa-isa. So for the first one, second order, my answer is 1.2 times 10 to the negative 12. Very good. Same na same tayo. So I'll do annotation down. This is correct. So same. 1.2 times 10 to the negative 12. And then for the second one, B.1, my answer is the half-life will be 2.4 times 10 to the negative 10 seconds. Second. Ayan. Correct. So 2.4 akin. Inano ko na eh. Ano nga ito? Naka-round off lang. 2.4 times 10 to the negative 10 second. And then for the B.2, my answer is 3.4 times 10 to the negative 10 second. Very good. Ayan. So, you're really now well-versed for the different reaction orders so far. First and second order. So, we'll now have the zero order. So far. So, zero order. So, this is the last naman na order na. Usually, for Gen Chem nga, for the general chemistry side, just to give you an idea, we're only introducing first order and second order. Okay? So, if you will see then sa other books or references, they will only introduce first order and second order. So, they're not introducing zero order. So, yeah. But since you're a special student of mine. So we'll also discuss zero order. So zero order, it's actually one of this is the simplest, I guess, na order because you don't need to do anything or do any operation with your given concentration of reactant. So in short, in a zero order kasi, the rate does not depend on the concentration of your reactant. So what will be our differential rate law or our DRL? So our differential rate law this time is negative dA over dt equals K na lang. So wala ka ngayong A dito because A will be raised to 0. And anything raised to 0 is equal to what?
1.
Okay, correct. So basically, this is equals to K lang. So this is your differential rate law for the zero order reaction. So before I'll let you derive the integrated rate law and half-life for zero order reaction, I'll give you an example. Some catalysis reactions are actually in zero order reaction. So for example, the decomposition daw of hydrogen iodide in gaseous form on a gold catalyst is a zero order reaction. So we can say here that the rate of reaction is equal to KHI0 or basically K. So the rate is independent on the concentration of HI. So we'll have a whole different session for catalysis kasi catalysis will require different concept then. Okay, so such as factors affecting rates of reaction, etc. But to define what is a catalyst, Josh? What is a catalyst again?
It's a participant na compound po na does not actually react with the reactants and does not change naman po but it speeds up the process or in some case naman po rarely it slows down the process.
Very rare yon. Pero generally, we add catalyst to your reaction system because what we want nga is to increase the reaction rate. So in a general sense, your catalyst will speed up chemical reactions. Okay? So please take note as well. So siguro dahil nga hindi pa tayo ganun din nakakaabot pa ng catalysis na concept, ang mga catalysts, Joshua, in a real sense, they're actually participating in the chemical reaction. They actually do react. Ang problem lang is fortunately, hindi pala siya problem. So, catalysts will participate in chemical reactions, but at the end of the chemical reaction, they will be produced again. So, parang na-consume mo siya, na-produce ulit siya. That's the reason why there are catalysts. They will make your reaction faster, and they are being consumed, but at the same time being produced at the end of the reaction. Okay, but let's focus now on the zero order. So same thing dito, Josh. I want you to derive, sorry. How can I erase this? I want you to derive the IRL, or the integrated rate law, for the zero order reaction and the half-life for the zero order. So DRL to IRL, then get also the T1 half. Okay, so sige, I'll stop sharing muna. Ayan. Derive now the integrated rate law for the zero order reaction and its respective half-life. Okay, so ayan, medyo straightforward kasi itong zero order. Okay, good. This also resembles your linear equation as well. Sige. Continue solving for the half-life. So ako na ito maglalagay. Y equals, still this is M, with X plus P. So the point slope form. Okay, continue now for the half-life naman, Josh. Ayun, parang ano po yata ako, nag-i-static lang yata yung signal ko, pero okay naman po, tuloy-tuloy pa naman din po inyo.
Tuloy-tuloy po eh.
Okay, thank you po. Okay, go ahead, Josh. Calculate this time T1 half for a zero order reaction.
Sila po medyo rough kasi yung surface. Yun na po.
Okay, so ayan na. Good. So what can you say then sa half-life ng zero order?
It
What can
matters
you
po
say
sa
about the half-life
initial concentration.
of your reactant? Very good. So both second order and the zero order reaction, they're actually the half-lives will be affected by the concentration of A. So if that is the case, it's only the first order reaction in which the half-life is independent from the original concentration of A or of your reactant. Okay, kaya I think that is a ano rin. Fortunately, ayun yung pina-follow nung mga radioactive substances mo. Okay? With this in mind, meron ka na ngayong graph sa zero order. What will be the graph for zero order with this data? Approximate mo na lang dyan. Sige, any given space. Parang try to predict what will be the linear graph for zero order. It's just, okay, very good. A versus T lang, no? Tapos, going down din siya. So, that will be your AO. Okay. So, M is equal to negative K. Very good. So, let me share back my presentation. So, let's check yung derivation mo, ha, kung tama ba. Ayan. That's correct. So, the integrated rate law for excuse me po, for the zero order, 8 is equal to negative KTAO, which resembles your point slope form then ng linear equations. And then the half-life is actually T1 half AO over 2K. So this is the linear graph. So with this, we can actually summarize now the different reaction orders. So we have the zero reaction order or the zero reaction order, first and second. So this will be the graphical representation for the integrated rate loss. So, di ba? Ito yung integrated rate loss natin. Yan, ito sila. This will be for the zero order, first order, and second order. So please always remember, Josh, pag zero order as is. Pag first order, take the natural logarithm of the concentration of reactant A. And then pag second order, Josh, you take the inverse of reactant A. Then graph it versus time. Puro versus time lang siya. X is always time. Then the half-life for zero order, it's AO over 2K. For first order, ln2 over K. And then for the second order, 1 over K AO. And then the units of K will be molar per second for the zero order kasi nga wala naman tong concentration. Don't have, the reaction rate will be independent to the concentration of your reactant A. So this is per second or any per unit of time. And then the second order will have per molar second or M negative 1, S negative 1. Okay? That will be the summary. So, ayan. With this, I'll have an example here, Josh. Ayan. What if this is the case? So you're given with a data set, time, and then concentration. So please take note, di ba, ang partial pressure is also concentration of your gases because partial pressure can be an approximation for the amount of matter present sa gases. So let's say partial pressure of azomethane. So according to this problem, the rate of decomposition of azomethane is studied by monitoring its partial pressure as a function of time. So that is your azomethane. So yan yung structure niya, CH3 and double bond N, CH3 gas. And then this is decomposing already. So once it decomposes into nitrogen gas and C2H6 or ethane gas, the partial pressure of azomethane will naturally decrease. Kaya, di ba, as time passes by, as you can see here, your partial pressure is also decreasing. So the data obtained at 300 degrees Celsius are shown in the following table. So I want you to determine the order of the reaction and the rate constant. So how can you solve this kaya, Josh? What's your strategy for solving this?
Linear regression.
Anong strategy natin, Josh? So, sige, go ahead. What is your strategy here?
Linear regression po. As always.
Okay, linear regression for what? Itatry mo ba isa lang or what?
For the entire data set po.
So, you do linear. Okay, correct. So, you now try for the whole data set. Sige. I'll give you the screen na. Ayan. So, hopefully na picturean mo na ba, Josh? Yan. Okay. So, I think okay na po. Ayan. So, you can now share your screen. So, what I want, Josh, will be, ang kailangan ko makita ay yung R squared muna. So, once you get the R squared kasi, you can clearly see kung ano yung order ng reaction. Okay? Because you can know its linearity. Okay, sige. Then, next page. Then, please create a table, Josh. Parang 0, first, and second. Ayan. Sorry, 10 pages tayo this session. Ayan, dami pala, no? Yan, gawa ka muna ng table. Yan, 0, first, and then second. Okay. Then, yung sa pinaka-leftmost, Josh, lagay mo yung R. R squared. Leftmost. Ayan. Baba, baba, baba. Ayan. Diyan. Pwede na yan. Hindi. R squared. Taas mo ng onte. Ayan. Diyan sa part na yan. Sige. Tama yun. Annotate. Ayan. Very good. Move mo na lang. Up, up.
Ayaw po.
Ayaw niya mag-move. Ayan. Okay.
Ano po?
And then, para kung sino man yung may perfect R squared near 1, that will be the reaction order. So, and then, pwede mong kuhain mo na yung K and then the rate law. Sige. Do muna the R squared. Okay, I'll annotate pala. I'll ask you. What is the X for zero order? What is the X for zero order? X-axis.
Ano po? T. T lagi po.
Okay, time. Okay, good. So, for across the reaction order, puro T. Pero for zero order, what is your Y?
Yung ano po, A.
Very good. As is. For first order, what is your Y?
Natural logarithm po.
Very good. Take the natural logarithm of A. And then for second order, what is your Y?
Inverse po.
Very good. 1 over A. Okay. With this in mind, you can actually calculate the R squared. Sige. Go ahead. medyo tedious lang siya because you'll be doing 3 linear regressions. Wow, ang bilis mo dun sa sa zero order. Kasi sa zero order naman, input lang siya, right? So, direct the input. So, that's your R squared. How about for the first order? Okay, input ka lang. Okay, since you already have the order, very good. So actually, first order nga yan. Yan yung sagot talaga. First order. You now get the rate constant, K. So what is M again sa first order? Sa slope mo? M is equal to what? Very good, negative K. Sige, continue. Okay, so that is your ano na value. Let me double check Joshua. Okay, so correct. So the answer is first order reaction, and then the K is 2.6 times 10 to the negative 3 per second. Okay, so that is how you do the how you calculate with any given data set na may A and then time, Josh. That is how you calculate your order of reaction and then the rate constant. Okay? So ngayon, I have a question naman. So balik tayo dito ha. So meron pa ba? I think this is the last problem for this session Ayun. So this is the last problem for this session. But of course, I want to challenge you as well. Laging gusto kong may challenge ka kasi you're a bright kid
Yung sa end level po ng game boss level pa.
Of course, di ba, you have the 0 per second order.
Oh
So
no!
of course, this
I
is very, very
foresee.
rare.
I
This is
foresee. I foresee what will happen.
this is very rare. So in
No, not
in
this.
molecular parang in molecular perspective, Josh, pag first order, you only have one molecule and then decompose into its products. For second order, you need at least two molecules. It's a bimolecular reaction. You need at least two molecules to collide and then you'll form the products. Ayan, di ba? Na-imagine mo na nga agad So what if, theoretically speaking, what if we can have a third order reaction? So can you give me the graphical representation of the integrated rate law, half-life, and the unit of K for third order reaction?
Why?
Kayang-kaya mo yan, third order reaction. Sige, I'll stop sharing. So
boss,
theoretically.
level 99999.
Okay. Ayan, very good. You want ba a reaction order 999?
No, I'm not giving ideas po.
So I want to see the integrated rate law, the half-life, and then the graphical representation. Tsaka yung units din ni Kay. Sige, go ahead, you can do that. Okay, so ayan. Let's continue. Okay. Ayan. Okay, good.
happening. Yun na.
Okay, o 'di ba? O, nakuha mo nga yung ano eh, integrated rate law agad eh. So this is the integrated rate law. And then that is your half-life. So what's the unit pala for K, Josh?
Ayun, 4K po.
What's the unit for K?
Ah,
Okay, good. So it's m raised to -2 by s second. So you can cancel out yung m cube, magiging molar per second na lang siya. Very good. So this is the the pattern. Even if you increase the reaction order, malay mo may mga technology na tayo in the near future, Josh. We can take the reaction order by 3, by 4, by 5. We don't know, right? We don't know. So where will our technology take us? Malay mo, baka may reaction order kang 50. So we might as well make your reactions really, really, really fast. Okay, so that is a theoretical way to calculate your reaction orders. So I think that's it na po.
Thank you so much,
Check ko lang po.
for teaching Joshua very well.
Mm.
Galing po, galing. Pero kayo magaling.
So check ko lang po. Ayun, tapos na nga po yung ano natin session for tonight. So ayan po. So thank you so much for tonight, Sir J and Josh. I'm really happy that Josh is uh, Josh is really applying his math lessons dun sa mga science subjects niya. So Josh, ayun, like what your dad is telling you, please don't be parang disheartened. Parang di ba pag nag-aaral ka ng math, oh, this is really quite hard or the calculus is really difficult or time consuming. So may purpose kasi yan because other subjects will use that. So ayan, example nito, chemical kinetics wherein differential equations is actually applied to this field. Okay? And ayun po.
Thank you very much po sa magaling na pagturo ninyo.
Nako, well, wala po yun. Welcome po because Josh is a good student. So, really bright student. So, I think kailangan niya rin ng mga good and bright instructors.
Yes.
yun pa yun.
Para mas maano niya, mas ma-develop.
Student daw po ako. So,
Yes.
Yeah, don't worry. Mas gusto ko talaga if eventually you'll be better than me, definitely. It means I serve my purpose well. Okay? So, yun. So, thank you so much po for tonight. And ayun
Thank you
po.
so much po sa
Thank
pagturo
you
niyo
po.
kay Joshua.
Yeah.
Magaling
Thank you
po.
po.
Kaya po gumaling si Joshua rin dahil sa inyo po.
Yes po. Sige,
Sige
sige
po.
po.
God bless.
Sige
Bye-bye
po.
po.
God bless din po. Yep. Thank you po for tonight. See you,
Thank you po.
Joshua, on our next session.
Okay po.
Okay po.
Aral ng maigi. Sige po.